Hi everybody, I just wanted to say hello. We're very excited to share with you tonight. Tom and I've asked my special guest, my husband, to join me tonight. We're going to talk about some of our favorite Coachella moments. Of course, you know, Coachella should be happening this weekend coming up, weekend one, and it's been a little bit delayed and postponed, but we were talking about some of our favorite moments and thought it'd be fun to share with you what we have experienced in all years of going to Coachella.
And I will add to that, we've actually had such a gift to have the Coachella and Stagecoach in our backyard at the Polo Grounds, and it's been something we've been able to do for so many years. It's been a great experience, great time.
So I'm going to share with you my top 5 moments, and I do have to preface this, that these are not the top 5 best musical performances. These are just special moments to me and why they have significance. So the first one is Capital City's Safe and Sound. So the reason why this is significant to me, first of all, the song was very average going into it for me. I didn't think too much about it. I think we pretty much went to go see the act because there wasn't too many other acts to see at the time.
Yeah, they had one song, Safe and Sound. Everybody loved it, but that was about it.
It was something to do. That's how it is at Coachella, right? And it just happened to culminate. All of my friends were there. We were all together. And these guys put on a performance that I still remember to this day. And when it culminated in the end to Safe and Sound, which is what they concluded with, there was a dance-off happening in front of us that the whole crowd was watching. They had everybody take off a shirt or wave a bandana or wave a towel. They had the whole crowd waving things in unison, and that crowd was jumping. It was exciting. All of our friends were together, and it was just at that gorgeous, what they call it, golden hour, I think is what it is. The golden hour right before it gets dark, and
everybody
it was
gets
a
their
great
second
moment.
wind. It's a great time. Everybody's kind of tired, and then they get that second wind, and they just get back up and start partying again. It's a great time.
It was so wonderful. So that's one of my top 5, kind of surprising, you know. Then the next artist that I really enjoyed is Girl Talk. And the reason why this moment is really significant to me is I shared it with my friend Linda, and it was also one of those spontaneous moments. Somebody she had worked with said, hey, you should check out this band Girl Talk. So we thought, okay, we'll head on over there. I think it was a Sunday night. I think it was
the last
Sunday
night. Yeah,
night, one of the last nights, last artists. And I lost my ever-loving mind. I could not believe how fun this artist was. We were jumping, and he's known for his mashups, and that's his specialization. And when he sampled Jesse's Girl, I thought I would collapse on the ground. It was a big moment for me. It is a moment I will treasure with my dear friend Linda for the rest of my life. It will always be one of our favorite moments together. And it was a great, great moment for me.
And I don't dance very much, but man, Girl Talk, they just had the whole crowd going. There were so many people on the outdoor stage. Should have been on the main stage, but it was amazing.
It was fun. Number 3 for me is Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg when they had the Tupac hologram. So what's great about this moment is the crowd was absolutely electric. Everybody knew about Tupac coming, and everybody was very excited to watch it and have the moment. And so the whole festival was coming together. It was Sunday night as well, and when Snoop Dogg came out and when he was singing and when he said, "How many years have you been with me?" and when he was, "Were you back with me?" and he was going back into the early 90s. And it was a great moment for me to realize that I'd been following these artists. And it's always surprising to me sometimes when I hear a lot of live bands and how many of the words I actually know. And I just could not believe, like, I just knew every song that they were doing, and it was so fun. And a funny thing about the Tupac hologram is I never saw it. I could never see it. I was jumping up. For those of you who don't know, I'm like 5'3" at best. I never, ever, ever saw that hologram on the stage because the crowd was so thick and so massive. My husband was trying to show me.
It was pretty amazing.
I never saw it with my eyes.
The advantage of being tall, it was pretty nice. I couldn't describe it well enough, but what was your favorite song in that set? Probably California.
California Love.
California Love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my second to best, this is a very unusual moment. So this is another artist that completely took me by surprise, Kygo. So Kygo, I know he had done a song with Selena Gomez, which I just thought was okay. and he brought out all these artists and so forth. And I was actually by myself for this act the first time I saw him there. I was with my daughter, she was off with her friends, and I was just by myself, and I heard Conrad Sewell come out and sing Firestone. And you know, sometimes when songs just absolutely grip you to your core, I heard this song live, and it moved me so much. I couldn't even believe what I was experiencing in the moment. And I didn't even mind that much. I was by myself because the rest of the crowd, everybody was together. It was definitely one of those unity moments, and I was just stunned. And that song moved me so much that when I heard it, and a couple weeks after, they were going back and replaying live Coachella songs, and the live version is very specific to me for Conrad Sewell doing it live. I was in the grocery store parking lot and I started to cry. I felt so moved. It's not necessarily the words, it's just the power of his voice. There's something that song does inside of me, and it is my number 2 Coachella moment for always. Okay, and my final and the greatest moment ever is, of course, Beyonce. There is nothing comparable to her in that moment, and I was fortunate enough. I was there weekend 1, and there are 2 significant moments of her performance that just floored me. The first is when she came out and she stood up at the top tier. Everybody knows the image. She stood there in her cut-off jean shorts and that yellow sweatshirt, and she said, "Coachella, are you ready?" And we just stood there looking at her, and I knew she had had twins and that she looked as magnificent as she did. I knew how hard she must have worked to look that good, and I appreciated that. And she gave us a show like I've never experienced. And I was so enraptured and so taken with Beyonce, it never crossed my mind that Destiny's Child would join her there. And when I saw that image come up of the 3 women, I started screaming. And there's a video, my daughter is filming me in the video, and you can hear me screaming with just absolute joy, delight, surprise, I don't know. But props to Beyonce, she's my number 1. All right, you go ahead and share, Tom.
All right, so I'm going to talk about my experience with Coachella. I've been going for 20 years. Man, I got to go back to 1999 when we saw Rage Against the Machine perform the very first Coachella, and they were amazing. And I mean, the whole lineup was good, but they had Tool performing, and God, it was really an amazing moment. Fast forward to 2012, like you talked about, Snoop Dogg, Dre, Tupac, and Eminem. I mean, that was an incredible performance. You've never seen so many people just so excited for a moment.
Yeah.
Whether it was weekend 1 or weekend 2 when the surprise was already out, it was really incredible. So moving on to 2016, I gotta say Guns N' Roses. I mean, they rocked it. I love rock music, and I love when Coachella brings rock bands. And man, they did great. Even though our lead singer couldn't really get it going because he broke his leg, I think. He was sitting on a throne the whole time, but it was kind of an amazing moment just to hear those songs performed. Calvin Harris that same year. That was the first time they had 90,000 people, and it was the time that 90,000 people were all there to see Calvin Harris perform on the main stage, and it was 90,000 people bouncing up and down at the same time to the music, to the beat, and man, that's really something only a DJ can pull off. And then we had Sia that same year. It was amazing. I don't know how she pulls it off, but she's just stood there and sang, and she had other people dancing and singing.
It was a show.
It was a show. It was amazing. Yeah, she was impressive. But 2011. Man, one of my favorite moments. I think you'll see a theme here. Mumford & Sons. They were incredible. Yeah. They had the whole crowd going when they started busting out some of their songs, and they had everybody singing along and knowing every word to every song. They were incredible. And Kings of Leon were the headliners. I couldn't believe it. They were amazing. That was a great band. Everybody, same thing. Everybody knew all the words to the songs. And then you already talked about Girl Talk. That was an incredible moment. Airborne Toxic Event, one of my favorite songs you'll ever hear. From them, they performed live like it was a studio album. I mean, they sounded amazing. And then one of the best live performances I think I've ever seen, live bands probably, was Silver Sun Pickups. I love them. Their music is incredible. They sound like they're in the studio. They're just incredible. And then you go back to 2002, you see Prodigy. Talk about a band that rocked, and people just loved just rocking out to good music that they knew. And the same year, you had the Foo Fighters and you had the Strokes. So, I mean, what a great lineup. And then Cage the Elephant. A lot of people don't know that band, but man, that's probably one of the best live bands you'll ever see. I actually saw that with Celeste, and we had a great time. And the lead singer is, he knows how to put on a performance. And then taking it back to old school, New Order. I mean, this is a band that was, God, you've never
Sunday
seen.
Night
I was a little
at 10
surprised.
o'clock or
Yeah,
whatever.
it was great, but it was pretty nice because it was almost like the old school DJ music, and all these older people were enjoying watching New Order perform, and then all these young kids were coming in because they had heard about it and they were dancing and they were having a good time. And they seemed to know all the music. Great time. Coachella's been amazing. I think it's been a great opportunity for us, and I think it's been, whether I work it or whether I go to it, I think it's really an amazing event that we have. So, but my best times are definitely going to Coachella with you.
Oh,
So.
thanks, honey.
Great.
Yeah, that's some of our favorite memories. It's definitely one of my favorite events of the year. So we hope you enjoyed this recap of Coachella and some of our favorite moments. And we'll be coming back at you and sharing with you some artists to look for Coachella 2020.
See you guys.
Thanks. Bye.